Hello, family. Good afternoon, or good evening, or grand rising, wherever you are watching us from today. My name is Angela Asante-Armar, and welcome to this week's episode of the Women in Political Leadership series. I'm streaming live from Ghana, and we are streaming live to the Facebook pages of Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa, United States of Africa, and also a YouTube channel for United States of Africa. So if you're on the Facebook pages, make sure you've liked and followed them. If you're on the YouTube channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It only takes you 2 seconds. As you're joining us, please do take a few seconds just to comment and let us know where in the world you're joining us from. So if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. The purpose of this show is to just be an open, informal platform for us to meet women and discuss with women both inside and outside of politics. Why is it that we have such an underrepresentation of women in politics when we are the majority of the global population? And what can we do to encourage more women to enter that arena? So welcome as you're coming in. Please do let us know where you're joining from. Today, I'm really pleased to be joined by a fellow sister, although she's based in the UK and I'm here, Ghanaian sister who I've had the pleasure of being on her platform and is doing wonderful things. We're here today with Ms. Benedicta Brefo, also known as official Bene, who is the CEO and founder of a nonprofit called Women Caucus for Stewardship. So please do show her a warm virtual welcome as she joins us today. Greetings, Sister Official Bene. How are you?
I'm doing well there. What about you?
I'm doing well, lapping up the heat.
You just left UK. We really miss you. Come back.
Yeah. I'm sending you light and sunshine and heat from Ghana. It's been just coming up to 3 weeks now since I left UK to come to Ghana, and so far so good.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us today. If I could just ask you, so I've given the audience just a brief background about you. What I will ask you to do is to let them know a little bit about you, why it was that you founded Women Caucus for Stewardship, and like what it's aiming to do.
All right, dear. Thank you so much for this privilege you've given to me. Angela is like a sister to me. I know her before she went to Ghana, and she knows who I am. But it's rather the world that doesn't know me. I am Benedicta Brefo. This is my parental name they gave to me. Official Bene is a nickname, but more than my actual name, because I was called by Official Bene since secondary school in Ghana. Yeah. Yeah, since secondary school, first year. I remember when we went there, these seniors were giving names. When they got to me, they were about to give me my name. I said, no, I came with my name. And they just stared at me and said, are you serious? I said, yes, I came with my name. And they said, okay, which name? I said, I'm called Official. I'm called Official Bene. And they started laughing. I said, yes, if you don't call me that name, I'll not respond. And they asked me the meaning of Official Bene. Yes. And I told them that I'm a great person, an important figure. I'm a leader. I told them, like, it seems my spirit was manipulating my future to me that time. So most of my friends are not surprised of where and what I'm doing, because in school time, anything you see Official Bene at the front line, fighting for people. I hate cheating. I'm always defending people, and I love truth. So this spirit has generated to this time. You asked about my background. Yes, I studied political studies at K University in Ghana. Afterwards, I went to GBC to have my TV production training for a year, and after I came to the UK, I've had my master's in international law. I've also had studies in international human rights law. A lot, I cannot say a lot, countless. So basically, my personality is that I love cheat, I love abuse, and I love truth. That is who I am. I'm always defending people. If I see people in pain, I'm very passionate about those things. I mean,
Mhm.
very emotional. So that spirit or that personality drove me to establish Women Caucus for Stewardship. Why Women Caucus for Stewardship? I've had a
Mhm.
background of politics and also law. So during my dissertation, I even did my research about that aspect. It was about women leadership, that why we had less women in
Mhm.
the company boardroom. That was my research topic.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, that, and it was also a comparison. It was between the UK and Ghana. So throughout my research, I got a lot of findings that no, we are behind the scene. I mean, Africa and precisely Ghana. So I
Mhm.
sat down and said, Ben, what can I do to my ward to solve this issue? Because I, I love to help people. So I
Mhm.
sat down and said, no, I've got political background, I've got law background, I have known what is behind the scenes, solutions and challenges. Why don't
Mhm.
I help my country? So that generated the idea of Women Caucus for Stewardship. I'm a believer, so I pray to God that God lead me if I
Mhm.
should go or not. And my spirit motivated me. Precisely, Women Caucus for Stewardship is not only the agenda I have generated. I have
Mhm.
one, it's purposely for youth empowerment and development. That one is
Okay.
called Change Motion, meaning positive change motion. I believe that our predecessors have done a lot of damages to our lives. It is time we make good use of our education, our potentials, whatever we have to come together, build up. Enough of complaints that this person didn't help us, this generation didn't help us. No, that is not my belief. My belief
Mm.
is that, well, if my mother didn't do that, what am I doing as a present
Mhm.
lady, precisely educated person? If my mom was so stupid enough not to realize the loopholes, what about me? They've educated, invested in my life. What am I making up to my word? So always this spirit always challenge me in doing it.
Okay.
So Women Caucus for Stewardship is mainly to empower and educate women globally, not only
Mhm.
Africa, globally, on legal aspect, political aspect, educational aspect, and financial aspect. My reason for all these aspects is that you cannot be educated without having knowledge about the law, because if you don't know the law, it's easily for you to be abused. If you are not financially strong, it's easily for you to be abused. No
Yeah.
matter how educated you are, you need financial mindset or education, whether educated or not. So that is my reason for Women Caucus for Stewardship and the areas for focus on that. Thank you so much for this time.
Wow, that's amazing. And I like that what you're highlighting is like the different areas that we really need to focus on. So, as much as here we were focusing on encouraging more women to enter into political leadership, quite frankly, we need more women in all forms of leadership.
Yeah.
I think it's very recently Angela Merkel is said to have said that, actually, it wasn't Angela Merkel. The name escapes me at the moment. But that basically, wherever a decision has been taken place, a woman needs to be there.
Yeah.
And it's not rocket science. It's not something that should be difficult to understand when we realize and we acknowledge, that statistically women are the majority in the world and in each country. So if we are not present there, then that means that we have a minority who is making decisions for a majority that I would say that it will not necessarily always understand. I don't expect men to understand everything that we go through in the same way that, I don't think that we necessarily understand everything they go through, even though we live with men, our sons, our spouses, whatever it is. So it was powerful what you said about, yes, there's education. That's one aspect of the empowerment, but the economic empowerment is also very important. And that, like, I'm just reaffirming for the viewers, that is so important, because sometimes people um, will wonder, they will ask themselves, but they look at this woman, she's very educated, very intelligent, and what have you. I'm just talking about any other woman that's educated, but she may find herself in a difficult situation. It could be, in an abusive relationship or something, and people ask the question, but how did that woman who's so intelligent get to that situation? You see, so there are a number of things that we need to deal with. So I think it's great that
Definitely.
you are, your focus to a certain extent is looking at different aspects of how, or different areas in which that we need to be empowered. I know that you haven't mentioned today. You mentioned about Pro Change Motion, but usually every Tuesday, official Bene will have her live program that she does for Women Caucus for Stewardship. And I know that one of the recent ones you did was interviewing some fellow women about whether or not women should actually be in politics. So I'm
Politics.
interested to know what came out of that discussion.
You you see, Angela is really, really mindful about Bene's issue. Well, viewers, myself and Angie, we are sisters, so don't worry about getting. Well, Angie, thank you so much for this question. It's not about only women that have problem in the political field. Let me give you a scenario. How long have men been on the throne of politics? Let's talk about Ghana especially, because both of us we are Ghanaians. We've had a lot of men on the throne, but what have they done? Nothing good. I'm not looking down upon men, but that is the truth. And
Mm,
being a political student, the politics we are playing in African countries are not war. They've covered it up with their own mindset, their bad mindset, wicked mindset, precisely. Politics is not about war. Politics is not about cheat. Politics is not about greed. Politics is about decision. Right now, we are doing politics because you are asking me question. I'm also giving you
mm,
the solution. That is
mm,
politics. But what are we experiencing now? Wickedness. Just recently, as Ghana is approaching election on Monday,
elections.
yeah,
Yes.
just see what is going on. We are not animals, precisely. I'm standing on this platform. We are not animals. We are human beings. We have to make solution to our problems. And women are very, very good. Naturally, we are good in managing things. So why don't we give the throne to women? Why don't we approach them, direct them, that politics is not about only educated people. Politics is
Mm,
about management. So that brought about that interview. I told my guests that no, we have to educate our people, because I believe that women are naturally politicians, but unfortunately, we are not able to get the knowledge, to get the coach in life. We think that, oh, politics is for educated people, politics is for these people. No, everybody is a political animal. As one philosopher said that, I think Aristotle, yes, said that human beings are politically animals. It's time we need to rise up. Let our people know the truth. That is me. I'm ever ready to face the truth, and the truth will be known to my people. Thank you.
Yeah, no, politics, I like how you describe it. But for me, the more, because I was never interested in politics previously, so it has been a massive, some may say like a 360-degree shift for me to not to go from not really being interested in politics to say, okay, I'm going to uproot myself from the place I was born, go home to Ghana and to run the contest to become presidency. That's like poles apart, but it came with the understanding and the knowledge that politics is life. Like, it's just life, and like you said, it's decisions, it's talking, anything that governs the quality of our life. And how much do we as women, or how much are we as women involved in managing life? Like you said, it's not about saying that the men are not managing life, but whether biblically, spiritually, what have you, there is a time for everything. And for me, when the world shows you that there's so much chaos, or that a certain group cannot perform, or they're not doing the things that they need to do, for me, that means that it means it's time for somebody else to step into the gap. And for me, that time now is us. It's, I would say it's relatively recently. Just forgive me, I'm just my screen has decided to do something. It's relatively recently, if we can say, as in basically since colonialism, where we've been in this position where our women have not been active, or so active, so represented in politics. But before that, and I'll come to read one of our viewers' comments in a minute. Before that,
Okay.
we were present in everything. Oh, goodness, one moment.
Okay.
There. Yeah, before that, we were present in everything. So one of our regular viewers, welcome Jason, thank you for watching today. He says that we as humans must realize that we are born from a woman. Mother Nature is a woman. Mama Africa is a woman. And the creator of the universe is a woman. So with that being said, we must love and respect our women.
Thank you.
Do you have anything that you want to respond to that, sister?
Yeah, I said it all. We have to respect women. Yeah.
There's a video that I'll circulate. One of the sisters made us aware of it recently, of an elder, and this is a man who was educating us about the traditional practices of us as Africans, and basically just reminding us that there was a time, and I have to circulate this video. I'm so glad she shared it. There was a time where women were respected, honored, even worshipped by people of all nations. So even, within and without outside Africa, but respected, honored, worshipped by all nations. And there was a time where, when it comes to the family, the man was not allowed to take any unilateral decision. So he basically could not take any decision by himself without consulting his wife or his partner. And even if and when it came to disciplining the child, the husband would not be allowed to punish the child without first consulting and seeking permission from his wife. So I say all this just to emphasize, how much change we have been through as a people, and the fact that the reality we're living right now, it was not really ours. Like it was not our natural way of being. People who have been on this platform know that I say that often because I think it's important for us to realize that this behavior of competition, it's a learned behavior. Us as original African people who probably weren't called African at the time because we're the first inhabitants of the earth, but in our original way, you know, the men were there, they played their own roles. Those roles were respected. The women were there, they played their own roles, their roles were respected, and everybody got along. We worked, you know, as a team, as a partnership. So this so-called battle of the sexes is not our battle, you know, it's been foisted upon us. And now
Definitely.
we're, you know, playing this game that's not ours to play. That's why when we talk about, well, from the Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa perspective or GPAN Queens, we talk about women, but it's like wherever you find a mother or a woman, you're not going to find her by herself. She is
Yeah.
looking after at least one other person. If it's not the partner, it's the child. If it's not the child, it's the parents or the extended family, you know? So when you focus on the woman, what you're actually saying is you want to empower the family. And this is why, as Sister Bene is saying, is like we need to realize that actually, well, men and women alike, but our focus is women because of like numbers. We need to realize that actually we're all political animals, and as women we're very naturally well placed to do politics, like
Yeah.
be political. um would you agree, Sister Official, or what would you add?
Yeah. Yeah, my dad. That's the reason why I said earlier that naturally women are
Mhm.
politicians. Politics is not about going to. Most of our politicians are not educated. Most of our politicians, yeah, they are not well educated. But what are they doing? They are leading the people, precisely misleading the people.
Mhm.
So, what is the difference between these wicked leaders and the normal, or yeah, the normal woman who is able to manage a home,
Yeah.
who is important than the other? Is it not the ordinary woman?
Mm.
Yeah, she doesn't have education, but she's well placed. Yesterday at my interview, the man or the guest just said that if it wasn't the mother, you wouldn't have gotten to this stage. Dad did not look
Mm.
after them. It was mom who struggled. Mom never went to school, but mom got the sense, the brain to struggle for the children. So
Mm.
if this person has been able to cure, cater, nurture the children to this
Mhm.
stage, why don't we give the throne to her to rule the nation or community? That's my
Yeah,
question to everybody. She is not
absolutely.
educated. Yeah, she is not educated. She is
Mhm.
poor. But from the perspective of my guest, he said the mother did her best to school
Yeah.
them. Yeah. So to me, this person is a politician more than the wicked people in the offices.
Mm.
Yeah. She's educated in politics. But the problem is we are not directing them. We are not empowering them. My dear, everybody needs encouragement. Angela needs it. I also need it. Although
Mhm.
I'm educated, I still need emotional encouragement. I need
Right.
physical encouragement. So it's
Mhm.
time we get together. I remember, Andrew, you one of my program with you some months ago.
Mhm.
You said
Mm.
it's not about saying hi, but getting closer to the person. Oh, Ben, how are you? Are you okay? Are you sure?
Mm.
Words of encouragement can build our spirit up, give us
Mm.
brain. I have been to this stage of life through a lot of encouragement by people. You used to encourage me, oh, Sister Bene, move forward. What you are doing, although you are struggling, but move forward, never give up. All these build me up to this time. So
Mm.
why don't we get closer to my poor woman? Why don't we
Mm.
get closer to these people? Education is not about going to the classroom and the lecturer lecturing you. No. We are educating the world. Are we in the classroom? No. We are just using the platform, social media platform. But we are educating masses over there. So it's high time present educated people come down, think, and project. That is my advice to the world. If you're educated, we don't need your paper. We don't need your certificate. My VC last year when I was graduating, he said it that your certificate will never make you success, will never make you known. It is just a remark to your friends. Oh, I completed masters in business, I masters in this. It's only your friends. But for the world to know who you are, it's about the progress, the input you put in. So educated people, enough of we boasting about English language, boasting about our certificate. No, it's time we come down and make projection to what we have gained from the classroom. Thank you to everybody listening to me. Thank you, Angie.
You're so welcome. And I'm glad you came back to finish on what you were saying about the mother who is uneducated, but and poor, but she, the son recognizes that if not for her, he wouldn't be where she is now.
Yeah.
I think, education. We talk about education. You and I have talked about it on your platform, and education is only as good as what it can actually empower us to do. Because like you say, there are people who have never seen the inside of school, but just look at the families that they've raised. Look what they have managed to build themselves, teaching themselves even. So we what I got from what you're saying is that, yeah, we've just completely dismissed our fellow sisters, our fellow mothers, like in the rural areas, or those that, because they focused on raising their families, they didn't get to have an education. And we rubbish them. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
they are the very ones who are raising our nations, you know? And I think it's very ironic how we say that, oh, the children are the future. It's about the youth and everything. I do believe that, yes, the youth give us hope. But ask yourselves this: if our mothers, the women, are our first educators, before you even know how to say the word school, before you see the inside of a classroom, if those mothers, they're our first educators, how do you expect the children to do so much better than the ones that we are leaving them to be educated by? Like you said, your guest said that his mother did her very best. You
Yeah.
see, so I will never judge, our women in that position, because they did the best with what they have, you know. But if we really want to invest in our youth, you invest in the ones who are the first responders, the ones who are responsible for looking after them and taking and teaching them. It's the women, the mothers,
Yeah.
because whether you know that whether you've given birth to a child or not, people will still call on the women. It doesn't matter if you've given a birth, to look after the family. So I echo what Official Bene says, that we need to reach out to our fellow women, our fellow sisters. Um, Stop with this judgmental behavior, that the fact that they don't have the education, which they are actually being denied.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they don't want it, but they prioritize, out of a mother's love, she will prioritize her family,
And
and
even
then.
another problem is that, Angie,
Mhm,
do they actually understand education? Some people are
mhm,
educated, but they are not sensible.
mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
such person, you're not educated. Education is transformation of life.
Mhm,
So if I sat down in life, I went to K University, study politics, blah, 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 and I never made use of it. What is the essence of it? Am I educated? No,
Mm,
because I couldn't make any useful input from it. So our mothers, that the so-called the present people
mm,
educated, yet they crown themselves with certificate and stuff. What input have they done? What input have they done? So if my mother in the village, my grandmother just a scenario, my grandmother, great grandmother,
mm,
she can give you history of whatever happened during their time. But meanwhile, even an educated person like me, I wouldn't
mhm,
be able to give that account. So both of us, who is more educated than the other? Is it not my grandmother?
mm,
Yeah, because she has been able to keep record, make reference. Oh, this, that will generate to this. Truly, if you do it, that is the result. But if the present educated person, 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, what about
mhm.
100 plus 500? And you just stand there, 100 plus 500. No, but you did not give me 100. You did not give me that figure. What is the essence of you being educated? So it's high time. It's high time we understand what actually education is. Education is about transformation. It's not about holding your PhD, holding your master's certificate and stuff without any input. And that is the reason why African countries are suffering. We've got a lot of educated people, but they are senseless. Senseless in the way that they are not making any input. Somebody is educated, masters, but instead of starting a small business, he or she is looking forward to the government to go to the office, get a white collar job, sit in the office and be bossy over people, shouting on the cleaners and say, yeah, Angie,
Oh gosh.
we've got a lot of problems in our African countries. We need education. We need political education. We need political education. Just see our politicians. They've made politics like a business. A
Absolutely.
politician, yes, a politician is going to or is going for a campaign. See the number of cars he or she is riding. See how they portray when they need power. They get the sense to go to rural areas and ask for people, our poor women, our poor men, please vote for me. I'll come and do this for you. But how many of them do what they tell them, fulfill their promises? Moment they get to the throne, they are in their big cars, enjoying, going to
Yeah.
funerals, going to weddings, traveling, leaving our poor women, those who struggle, those who are selling water on their head,
Mhm.
which they voted for you, standing in the sun to vote for you. So it's high
Absolutely.
time. It's high time we correct all these mistakes. If not that, my dear, Africa will not proceed. I'm not cursing, but that is the truth. We have to calm down, analyze issue. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. Anybody who is listening to me, I'm not perfect or I'm not sensible than anybody. No. But what I have realized is what I'm telling the world. So please, let's calm down, know what education is, get closer to our poor people, our needy people, those who were not able to go to the classroom, but rather they are sensible than even some of the educated people. Yeah, most of our grannies are very good in mathematics, but they don't use calculator. They are very good. Nana, 1 plus 1. Oh, I gave you 1 CD. I bought this for 50 coins or 50 pesos. Sorry, I've forgotten Ghanaian currency. Your grandma will be able to tell you that no, this is the change I have to give to you without calculator. But the educated person would who went to school will ask you for calculator, especially if the sum is very high. So both of you, who is educated than the other? Your granny has been able to transform a intelligent to calculate without calculator. And you being educated, you need a calculator. So what is the sensibility of it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to damn anybody. No, I love the truth. Angie knows who I am. I love the truth, and I'll always face the truth, no matter what you say about me. I love the truth.
Yes.
And this is what I'll tell the world. It's high time educated people, youth specifically, come down, make good use of the education, get closer to these people because most of them are very wise. They are very wise that if we get closer to them, they will give us knowledge. My grandmom usually does that to me. So I love elderly people because they give you impact in life. Thank you so much. And I hope you are not annoyed with me.
Can you hear me, official?
Yeah, Angie, I can hear you.
Unfortunately, I don't see my picture, so apologies to the apologies to the viewers. But no, I love what you say there to round off that. Yeah, the wisdom of our mothers, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, um, and we can and we should talk about them unapologetically because it's like they have been forgotten, you know, and so it's time for people like us to remember the wisdom that they have and try to reclaim that and play it forward and step back into our roles. And I agree. It takes to reaching out amongst ourselves. This is not about battle. We don't have to fight anybody. This is not a competition between men and women. This is about how we help our mother Ghana, our countries, the motherland, Africa, the world, how we help um, each of our citizens and the nations, how we help them thrive through making sure that the ones who are the preservers of life, that is us, that we're doing okay. There's only so much we can keep giving and giving and giving and giving to everybody else, and until we have nothing left to give. So it is now time for the women to come together to support each other. And what I will say and I will stress is that um, the more that we step up, the more Sister Official, the more other women step up, the
Yeah.
more support they need, not the less, the more, because we are taking more responsibility. And I am saying that because as women also, and when we are focused on helping so many other people, sometimes either we forget or we find it difficult to ask for help. But if your sister won't help you, who else are you looking to help you? We must be our sisters' keepers. So the higher we go, the more support we must give our women who go there, because the more we support those going to the top, the quicker you help the ones getting to the top to help the ones at the bottom. That is how it should be. And once we've all come together, we're all doing well. You'll just see how the men are happy, the children are happy, because we also set the mood, we set the temperature for our homes. It's not arrogance. It's not, you just have to look. Just you, I'll leave you with, you just look, especially going out to the men. I challenge you all to think if you don't realize that each and every one of you is working hard to please at least one woman or girl in your life. if it's not your wife, you know, your spouse, the daughter, the niece, the sister-in-law, the mother-in-law, you're all working hard trying to please at least one of us. And it's difficult for you because we're all stressed because we've given everything of ourselves. So if you really want to help our countries, help the women, help the mothers and the mother figures, help us to retake our natural place, to look after our countries, look after ourselves, and look after our families. That's how everybody wins. I'm very thankful to you, Official Bene, for joining me today. Sorry you can't see me, but thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us today and
Right.
sharing your insights and your wisdom. It will be lovely to have you back on again on another time.
Yeah, I'm
Please, and
always
just to
available.
invite you, if you have any closing message for the viewers, please go ahead, and otherwise I'll just sign off.
Well, my word to the world, my word is that it's time, especially to the educated people, it's time we make good use of the knowledge we've gained in the classroom. It's time. Enough of boasting about certificate. Certificate cannot give you a job. Somebody will be educated, but will get recognition in skills. Education in this modern world is about both fluent in communication and about your skills. So if you've got a skill training, please don't overlook that. Make good use of that in addition to your knowledge of education. And also to the women there, my women, please don't look down upon yourself. Whatever you can do, proceed on that. We are women of change. It's time women rise up. Don't be deceived by men, especially when you are in the adolescent stage. I know that stage is very tempting. You develop your hormones, which will cause you for these sexual issues. But be careful, even the men you sleep with, because your life is important to the world. Don't make yourself cheap. Value yourself. Value yourself. Know who you are. Self identity is needed. It's because of that, that's the reason why our fathers were able to abuse our mothers. Because our mothers didn't recognize who they were. They thought that they were only reserved for kitchen. No. You can work more than the man and focus on your business as a woman. Because if you are of your own work doing, the man respects you a lot than you depending on the man and becoming a slave. As we are empowering the world, we are empowering women. This is what we also need from our women. Work hard for your life. Don't depend on the man. Because if you depend on the man, it's difficult for you to be empowered. Because you are almost a slave to him. But if you are working for yourself, you've got your own power, you know you've gained knowledge. Knowledge is about freedom, mentally free. So please, in order to be mentally free, you have to work for yourself, respect yourself, know who you are, and the men will pave way for us. It's time for women to rise up. This is my word to my world. Rise up, African woman, rise up wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Official Bene. And thank you to the viewers for watching and engaging today. Um, it's important that we continue the conversation. Of course, there is action to take after conversation, but we need to continually have the conversation to remind people that this is not going away. You know, it's not just talking. We need to connect with our we need to connect with you all, men and women, and we need both the men and women to support the women to now step into the role that we once had. This is not new to us. It's just because our history was interrupted by colonization, imperialism, that we've forgotten who we truly are. So let's all work together to restore the motherland. And you cannot restore the motherland without restoring the mothers and the mother figures, the women. So thank you for watching this week. We look forward to seeing you next week at our original time of 7 o'clock. But please do keep engaging, ask us questions. And I'll just end with this last comment from one of our viewers. Yeah. Don't stand behind the man, stand up alongside the man. Thank you, Margaret. Yes. And that shows you there's no competition. We are partners. We are partners. Mothers don't fight their children. Not when they're well grounded, and we don't fight our children. So we stand with them. So thank you for watching. See you again next week, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Official Bene.
All right, dear. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Take care all.
All right.